for a deeper dive, let's check in with the analyst desk.
Thank you very much, gentlemen. Ray and the rest of Apex, making sure that we go to a game 3 here. And that's where I want to start. I want to talk about the champion select adaptation that we saw out of Apex this time. The J4 in the top lane, coupled with that Zillion, allowing him to go full damage, just dive the back line, giving no care.
Yeah, where's he going with this one? I like that you brought up the Zillion though, because that is a really underrated part of this. And you notice that was a crucial pairing. You know, something to not only enable him to get in there, but also to enable him to have that survivability. We saw where, oh, the Zillion's ult on him. We don't want to kill him, but while the Zillion's ult on him and you don't want to kill him, he puts out about 10,000 damage real quick to your back line.
Yeah, I mean, he was absolutely dominant. And I was kind of watching thinking, oh, he's not getting ahead in lane. I don't know what he's going to be able to do. He went off once again.
Yeah, I mean, so we looked at it. We had some questions around whether or not is this really going to be an effective Aurelia counter. We hadn't seen it yet. And then, as you mentioned, we did kind of notice he's running out of mana very quickly in that laning phase against the consumables that Seraph had with just that Dorance, but ended up being rather effective.
Yeah, not so much a specific Aurelia counter as a I can blow your backline up faster than you can blow mine up counter. And you're right, he lost, NCS down to that Aurelia, and he was struggling for a little bit to find spaces to do that. But the first teleport was effective, and he got a lot of follow-up kills as well. So the kills keeping him in there to get those item breakpoints he's looking for.
Outside of just obviously the J4 and the Zillion picks, we did see a little bit of difference or switch up in strategy and playstyle from Apex. More contesting of those global objectives. We saw them splitting the dragons as opposed to just handing 5 of them over to Envy. So this time around, although still less active than our first series between Immortals and now I'm already forgetting who they played.
Energy.
There you go, Energy. It was more active than game 1, and I like to see that out of Apex, increasing the tempo a little bit, getting themselves involved in more skirmishes, allowing that Jarvan to pick up those kills and put the damage out.
Something that fit Ray's playstyle, I think, a lot better as well than the Shen. He was able to kind of farm up and then really take over the fights in a way that he was not able to do on Shen.
I think that's going to be crucial for game 3. They put Ray some sort of damage in his hands.
Yeah.
So he's not just playing a tank from the top side. It just opens up a lot more possibilities for them. They have a lot more threat.
Yeah, well, coming into today, we were talking about Sarah's champion pool, right? Unique champions in all of his first 5 games, and Ray a little bit less so. But here he is showing the likes of the Fizz and the Jarvan now in his back pocket that not too many other players in NA are playing, and that's going to cause a lot of problems for people who are trying to draft against them in Champion Select. Speaking of which, we're just going to hammer Ray some more here with Player of the Game, 9, 2, and 8 on that Jarvan. We got a nice little montage to go along with it as well, ladies and gentlemen. Jarvan's back in competitive play, so we got to celebrate that with a dunk montage.
All right, this one also highlights Xpecial. How convenient. Nice setup there with the Bard. This is the teleport top, couple dunks I was talking about, where he gets off to some kills to answer that CS discrepancy that was accumulating.
Yeah, this one was a little bit worrying because he was losing so much top lane, stuck around so long bot lane, but does actually convert on 2 kills, and this fight was huge.
Yeah, I mean, people love to look at it and be like, oh my God, late game, full damage Jarvan is so broken. But he also had the Zillion. He also got these kills early that were really, really crucial in getting him to that point. But this is the fun point where we're just like, okay.
Yeah, I mean,
here they go.
Three-shotting an ADC here.
This is literally
2-shotting an ADC. What is that? I mean, we were joking because he went and he built Blood Razor or what is it called? Dustblade. What does he need that for? Everyone is dying before it even pops.
You just need all the flat armor penetration items that exist in the game, man.
Give me that true damage.
Pick them all.
7 armor pen, true damage to both Sivir and the Zyra. There was that one clip that I just kind of want to jump back to because, again, reiterate that point that the Zillion did afford him so much opportunity. We saw in that one replay both Sivir, Zyra having to stop their DPS, and in the meantime, he does not have to. So he had the time of his life there in that game, and that just raises a lot of questions about Game 3. That's where I want to look to next, because Envy now has to consider that this is an option for Apex. How do they deal with it? Does it go to the ban list? Does Seraph have something in his back pocket that can deal with the Jarvan? Or better yet, Kobe, as you mentioned, do they have other tools within their ADC pool that can deal with a Jarvan diving into the backline?
Yeah, see, I feel like they're okay with letting the Jarvan through. Like, the Jarvan really benefit from that surprise factor, where they also were able to use it as a flex pick, and they're like, surprise, we're going to get this Jarvan. And it really hinges on those early kills. We've mentioned a couple of times, you know, he was down CS when he's going for these side lane plays and teleports and stuff. If they played a little bit cleaner on the other side, then I feel like Envy are okay taking this, and they're like, okay, we're going to set up our whole game plan around not letting Jarvan snowball, and then he just becomes this guy that jumps in the back, half assassinates an AD carry, and then dies, which does, you know, it's all or nothing.
Much less impressive.
Yeah, I mean, just snowballing off your point, they lost so much to Seraph in the early game because of all this free time, and he was actually still down in gold, even with all those kills, because of how much free time Seraph had. So one misstep here or there, and the Jarvan starts to look real bad.
A little bit more feast or famine as a champion. All right, so now let's ignore the J4, though, entirely, and let's look at Game 3 as well from the side of Envy, because here you are, you did lose a game. J4 is not the only reason you did it. What do we want to see out of Envy this time around? Are we looking for more active early games from either team?
I don't know if we have to like focus in on spurring these teams on to active early games, because both of these teams had success in week 1 with the slower paced games. You know, this is the game that they want to play. They want to lay it out, you know, for the mid game sieges and just execute their strategy. I don't think forcing them into an early game strategy is really good for a team if that's not the way that these players play. You know, if they don't excel at that type of you know, quick pace, then I wouldn't push it on them.
I think we just need to see Seraph perform. You know, it's really been a lot about the top lane. In almost all of Envy's wins, Seraph has come up big. This game, he got a lot of, you know, free time in the lane. He was not able to convert. Aureli was pretty much a non-factor. Ray took over the game. If you want to win, your big players have to come up big. They need Seraph to get something done here in Game 3.
Well, we're 1-1 once again, ladies and gentlemen, for our second series of the evening with that Apex win. It's time for a quick break, but right now we're coming back with the conclusion of Apex versus Envy. The NALCS returns in just 3.5.
Apex need to win this one to keep their record in the NALCS undefeated. Oh, the stun's on a Hakuho, though. A lot of damage there. I don't know if it's quite going to be the kill, but the teleport comes in. Bard ulti, he doesn't quite dodge it. This is bad for Hakuho. Blue trigger spot, they're coming in the Venn diagram of Vision and Keen down to half HP, but he is still going to be okay. Ray jumps through for Wad. There's the kite away. Looking for Hakuho, nearly deletes. Oh my gosh! He's killing everybody, and he still won't go down. A double kill for Ray. They are so far ahead. This turret will be going down.
Beware!
Apex Snappy, another solo kill for Ray.
And that's a second one!
Oh my god! Gone, there's 2. Ray. Q flash ulti picks one up, gets the revive from Zillion. There, Void Monsters confirmed greater than plants. And a score of 20-6. Ray going off on the full AD. Jarvan and Apex tie up the series.